All right, DC fans, here we go, because the villain of the Superman follow-up, Man of Tomorrow, coming in July of 2027, may have just been revealed thanks to Nexus Point News. We gotta talk about it. Hello everyone, and welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of the DCU and looking forward to the future of the DCU, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all the time right here on the channel. And let me know your thoughts of Man of Tomorrow, what your hopes and expectations are for the upcoming movie, and if you think the villain teased in the Nexus Point News article leans towards who we're going to talk about or not, let me know in the comments down below. Let's get right into it. Earlier today, Nexus Point News had some casting description announcements for the main villain of Man of Tomorrow. So here's what's happening. Man of Tomorrow will be the fourth film in the new DCU under James Gunn and Peter Safran. Filming starts in April 2026 in Atlanta, shooting through the summer, and the movie's set to release on July 9th of 2027. This one, of course, is being written by the one and only James Gunn, and anytime Gunn takes full control, you know it's not just a sequel, it's a pillar of the new DCU. And it looks like they're casting the villain. According to info from Nexus Point News, as I said, casting is already underway for the movie's main antagonist, and the details are super specific. Actors with strong, imposing builds are being targeted, and the role will involve heavy makeup and prosthetics. That's our big clue. When you hear prosthetics in a Superman film, your mind immediately jumps to non-human characters, and two names instantly stand out. And that, of course, is Brainiac and Mongul. I just did a video on Mongul the other day, and Brainiac I did one about a month or so ago when this movie was announced. So let's start with Brainiac, because I think that's who everybody kind of wants. Let's be real here. That's who the obvious tease was early on, but that might not have been a tease. It might have been a deflection. Brainiac, of course, is one of Superman's oldest and most iconic villains, a cold, calculating alien from the planet Colo. With green skin, cybernetic enhancements, and a brain that operates on 12th level intellect, he's the guy who literally shrinks and steals cities for his collection. He's obsessed with knowledge and control. He's one of the few villains in all of DC lore who can challenge Superman not just physically, but mentally. The prosthetics and makeup make total sense if they're going for the classic techno-organic Brainiac design. And if it's Lex and Superman teaming up, and this is going to be very Lex-heavy, this movie, Brainiac, you know what, I'm going to go into Mongul in a second, but Brainiac, man, you got to think it's him, right? The intellect, the brawn, the Superman and Lex, Brainiac is now who I really suspect is the villain of this movie. But we can't count out Mongul just yet, because he's another powerhouse from Superman's Rogues Gallery. Created by Len Wein and Jim Starlin, Mongul is the massive alien warlord who rules over Warworld, basically a floating gladiator planet where he forces champions from across the galaxy to fight for his entertainment. He's brutal, he's enormous, and he's got yellow skin, which is always fun, and that could be the reason why they need the prosthetics. And fun fact, his sister Mongul already showed up briefly in the Suicide Squad, so the strong build and stature component fits him well. But who is it? Brainiac or Mongul? Let me know who you guys want in the comments down below. Who do you think it is? Let me know in the comments down below. Honestly, both of them do fit. The strong build screams Mongul, but the prosthetics and technological undertones point directly to Brainiac. Like I said earlier, I think it's going to be Brainiac. He's the smarter play. He's the Superman villain that fans have been begging to see on the big screen for years. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Zack Snyder's original plan for Man of Steel 2 was to have Brainiac, but the studio said, we need Batman. So they went with Batman. And you know what? I love Batman v Superman, but whatever. And we know that Gunn has openly talked about wanting to do a story that challenges Superman's ideals rather than just showing him against another muscle-bound villain. Still, Mongul could easily appear as a secondary or setup villain, maybe Brainiac's muscle, maybe the ruler of Warworld being manipulated behind the scenes. Not likely. Now let's talk about the cast and connections, because this is where the DCU really starts to come together. David Cornsweet is obviously back as Clark Kent, Superman, Nicholas Hoult returning as Lex Luthor. You got to think Rachel Brosnahan's coming back, Jimmy Olsen, Perry Way, they're all coming back. But new rumors are starting to circulate that Millie Alcock's Supergirl will appear. Jason Momoa's Lobo definitely going to be coming in Guns A-Blazing. John Cena's Peacemaker, he's got to be there, right? He's got to be there. And Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl has basically been all but confirmed with a simple Instagram post saying, see you soon. And let's not forget, Hawkgirl is very controversial in the DCU as she killed President Gurkos of Baravia when she carried him from a palace window, then dropped him to his death. This hints she may be sent to salvation, which of course is Rick Flagg's dimensional prison for metahumans. Ultimately, right now, I think the villain is going to be who I suspected about a month ago, and that's Brainiac. I think James Gunn knows what the fans want. He knows what the fandom wants. He knows the hints. He knows where to go. He knows where to take this universe. Because again, this is the early stages of the DCU. It's too early to judge it right now. But you gotta hope for the best. And I think bringing a character like Brainiac makes the most sense. Appease the fans while you can. He might not have done that for everybody with Peacemaker, right? He didn't have any of the big cameos in Peacemaker, but the movies is where you shine. The movies is really what matter. Really, in the DCU, even though we've had Creature Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker, really though, Superman is the only true entry of the DCU, being that it is a movie theater that definitely had access to more viewers, obviously, right? Peacemaker is rated R. I mean, it has cocaine use and an orgy in the first episode. Creature Commandos is animated, not for everybody. Superman is for everybody. And so Man of Tomorrow, Supergirl, I mean, Clayface is horror. It's not going to be for everybody either. Supergirl and Superman, these are the ones that have to really reach a large audience. And I think Brainiac is where you got to go. Because you see, Lex is the smartest man alive. He's been tinkering with scraps of alien code that he doesn't even understand. He thinks he's controlling it. He thinks he's been controlling it, but it's controlling him. The engineer believes she's evolving, but her evolution might just be a Trojan horse. And all those quantum experiments, all those dimensional bridges might not be breakthroughs at all, but invitations, doors opened by Brainiac himself, letting his influence bleed through reality after reality until there's nowhere left to hide. That's the genius of how Gunn's structuring this. He's not doing the obvious Brainiac invades Earth story. He's telling the infection story, the slow burn sci-fi of a hyper-intelligence seeding itself into every corner of civilization. The ultimate evolution of the bottled city concept, because Brainiac isn't bottling cities anymore. He's bottling realities. Entire universes trapped inside digital illusions where people live perfect lives without realizing they're prisoners. Now think about Peacemaker Season 2, the QUC, the quantum unfolding chamber. It doesn't just send people to other universes, it traps them in simulations that feed off their desires. That's not just alien tech, that's Brainiac's tech. It's the same design philosophy, it's his psychology, the idea of giving people their perfect world when quietly dissecting their minds. And when you pull back and look at the full picture, you start seeing how everything fits. The engineer's infection, Lex's experiments, all of it leading to Man of Tomorrow, where Lex Luthor finally has to face the truth. All his genius, all his technology, all his ambition, it was never really his. He's been playing with Brainiac's tools since the beginning. That's why Gunn teased the Halo and Devil emoji in that post all that while ago. The alliance between Superman and Lex isn't just symbolic, it's survival. They're teaming up against something that's already rewritten the rules of the DCU. And that's what makes the next movie feel so massive. Because this isn't just Superman 2, this is the moment the DCU realizes there's something far beyond gods and monsters. There's an intelligence out there that doesn't conquer planets, it collects them. I can't wait to see what Gunn is cooking up in Man of Tomorrow, and I can't wait to get to Man of Tomorrow. We got Lantern, Supergirl, Clayface, all before we get there in 2 years. Are we going to learn more about Checkmate in that time, more about Peacemaker in that time, and are we going to get any more hints of Salvation Lanterns? I'm looking at you. I'm working on a Lanterns Everything We Know video. Should come out this weekend. Can't wait to talk about that. Can't wait to see this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Brainiac, Mongul, who do you think is going to be the big bad, or somebody else of Man of Tomorrow? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button and subscribe. Till next time, may you be the master of your own universe.